Woo! Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is week 38 of my social isolation get ready with me's. I had said previously I was going to be using limited edition palettes from previous years gone by, but I'm taking a break from that this week because I want to talk about this new palette that I got and want to try out. This is the ColourPop and RawBeautyKristi At Forest Sight palette, and it is stunning. It is so freaking pretty. I think, now that I'm clocking onto this, I think the reason I like this so much is because there's so many mattes in here. There's really only 2 shimmers and the rest of them are mattes, and I said that, and then this one has a little bit of shimmer in it actually. So I'm super into these colors. I find them very intriguing in terms of the mattes. I think the shimmers are pretty, like, you know, usual shimmer colors, but the mattes are really drawing me in. So we're gonna be doing something with this palette today. I gotta admit that lately there hasn't been as many ColourPop launches that I've been interested in. I feel like they keep relaunching neutral palettes over and over again, and I just haven't been loving them. But when I saw RawBeautyKristi post about this palette, which kind of, I feel like came out of nowhere, like it didn't really get mentioned, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna order that. And of course, because it's ColourPop, it's relatively inexpensive. I was gonna say it's 12 bucks, but there's no way it's 12 bucks. Probably around the $20 mark. So we finally decorated our Christmas tree yesterday. Again, I'm filming this on Sunday. You're seeing it on Tuesday, but we decorated on Saturday. And tree looks good. It's funny to have 2 full-size trees in the condo. But I like it. Like, I like the having a real tree, although I have to say this year it's a really pathetic looking one. We went to Canadian Tire to buy them, which we normally do. That's standard, but it was $50. I was like, what? Why? And then when we unfurled the thing, I was like, okay, this is probably the worst $50 tree I've ever had. But it's fine. I mean, whatever. It smells decently well. And then I've got the full white tree, which you see in more of my like sit down in the sunroom type videos. So yeah, it's just nice having the trees up. I love having the lights at Christmas because it just makes everything feel so festive, obviously. But just having them up right now just feels good. I do always underestimate how much time it's going to take us to put up the tree though. I feel like we started around 2 or 3 and we weren't done until like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I mean, it's more than just the tree. There's all like the decorations and the window coverings and stuff like that. Window coverings, dressings. We just put lights up around the window. Anyway. Okay, I have a plan for this palette that I hope is going to work out. So the first thing I'm going to do is take Old Growth and put that through my crease. Ooh, they're powdery. All right. Put that through my crease as a transition color. We also watched Christmas Chronicles 2 last night. I had been pleasantly surprised with Christmas Chronicles. It's a Netflix film, I believe, that came out 2 years ago, starring Kurt Russell, which I had never thought that I could ever picture Kurt Russell as Santa Claus, but he's really good. Like, it really worked out. And I love the first movie. The second movie is not very good. It's a little too jokey. It's a little too much of a kid's movie. And I remember being so pleasantly surprised with Christmas Chronicles, and then I was excited when there was a second one out this year, and then when we watched it, I was like, no, not a fan. It was fine to watch, but it's the one kind of thing I would never watch again. Okay, with the crease color in place, I'm going to take Amanita here and put that just below that color we put on. Ooh, that's pigmented. Oh, wow. That's a nice color. That color is really incredible. I honestly don't think I have an eyeshadow that's that color. I can't think of a single one in my collection. That's beautiful. It's nice to find something unique, you know? Like, I feel like at this point in time, I've got almost every color of the rainbow in terms of my eyeshadow collection, so to find something a little bit more unique is fairly exciting. Okay, now we're gonna switch over to the lid. I'm gonna take Evergreen here, which is kind of like, I feel like your typical blue, green, brown type pigment, but I haven't used it yet, so can't confirm. So let's give that one a shot. And this one is just going on the inner third of the eye. Ooh, that is a lot paler than I was expecting. That might actually work out better if it's wet. Let me get a wet brush here. A little bit better. It's kind of a translucent shade though. So because of that, I'm gonna drag that into the inner corner because it's looking like a highlighting shade to me. Okay, next I'm gonna be taking Fiddlehead and putting that right beside Evergreen. Right there. Super pigmented. I'm always blown away by ColourPop's eyeshadows, okay? Like, for such an inexpensive brand, they put out some crazy quality stuff. Okay, I do want to like blend between these two greens, so I'm gonna go back into Evergreen and just try to drag it on top of, what was that, Fiddlehead. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, then for the outer corner of the eye, I'm going to take Emerald City right here. Put that right here, and I'm hoping this works out because this is not a color combination I usually throw together. I wasn't liking that Real Techniques brush, so I switched to my MAC 217. I don't mind the outcome, but I think if I did this again, I'd probably put Fiddlehead on the entire lid and then keep Evergreen just to the inner corner. I'm liking what's going on over here though. That color combination is fairly unique for me. I'm liking how it's going together. I do want a little bit more of Amanita up here though, so I'm just going back into that and layering that on top. Okay, there's no brow bone highlight shade in this palette, which is nice because frankly I've got enough bone colored eyeshadows in my life, so I'm just going in with my Wet n Wild Brule single. Alright, I am going to add a wing with my Physicians Formula Eye Booster. Okay, let's move on to the face for now. I'm going to be using my Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum in the shade 51 Late Vanilla. I think I'd already mentioned this, but in case I hadn't, we're definitely not traveling this year for Christmas because my parents live in Ottawa, which is roughly a 4-hour drive from Toronto, and my husband's parents live in Wisconsin. Obviously, we can't cross the border into the US, but also there's no point in going to see my parents and potentially like picking up COVID along the way or bringing it to them for whatever reason. I don't think we have it, but like, you know, you can be one of those people who carry it but then just never have any symptoms. So yeah, it's gonna be a quiet Christmas in Toronto by ourselves with our cats. Definitely not going anywhere. My brother, who lives in the Netherlands, I don't know if he's in the Netherlands right now though. Did he go anywhere else? I feel like he went somewhere else during COVID. I don't know. Anyway, he's not going to be traveling either back to my parents, so it's going to be a very, very quiet Christmas. This was supposed to be the year that we went to see my parents because we went to Wisconsin last year to see David's parents. But yeah, that's on hold. Hopefully we'll go in 2021, but I don't know based on how it's looking right now. I honestly stopped looking at the news because there's just no point. You know what I mean? Like, every time I look at the news, it's just like, we have more cases than ever. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'm just staying at home, so I'm not really doing anything. I've never been much of a big news person anyway. Like, I don't read the newspaper. I don't really read any news sites. I don't watch the news. Most of my information comes to me via Twitter, which is probably not the best thing, but in this situation, I feel like following the news is almost completely... what's the word I want to use? Damaging maybe, or hurtful? Like, there's no point. Until people can tell me that we're safe to go outside without masks and whatever, I don't really care if we have more cases or less cases because it's not changing what I do. And I don't want to keep hearing that the numbers are going up because it's just going to be depressing overall. And again, my lifestyle isn't changing, so it doesn't really matter to me. Ugh, foundation lips, always so crusty. Gross. Okay, for bronzer, I'm going to be using my Milk Makeup bronzer that I had to depot into a Lancome pot because it broke on me, like the packaging broke. It usually looks like this one, like I had a mini one, yeah. And this one I found worked out really well with like this flat top brush, so that's what I'm going to use. God, the smell on this thing is just, like, what? It smells like lipstick from like the 80s. Like, it's just bad. It hasn't gone off because literally everybody complains about the scent of it. And it was brand new when I got it and it smelled exactly like that. But good grief, it's a stinky product. Like, I would not be surprised if somebody got it, smelled it, and then threw it out because they thought it had gone off. I wish it was still in the tube though, because it feels ridiculous sticking this brush into that. And then for blush, I'm going to be using Milk Makeup again, and this is the shade Work. Yeah, Work. And I'm just taking that on a synthetic dual fiber brush. Just popping that there. And for highlighter, I'm going to go into my ABH Glow Kit. This is Gleam, and I'm a little bit torn on which one to use in here, but I think I'm going to go with Hard Candy because it's got a little bit more of that like deeper pink tone that kind of matches my eyes. Oh yeah, I like that choice. All right, face is done. Let's zoom you back in and finish up with the eyes. I think I want to keep the eyes fairly dark, so I'm going to go in with my Tarte Sex Kitten eyeliner and just line on my lower lash line with that, or waterline rather. And then I'm going to take Emerald City on a small smudgy brush and just line the lash line with this, just really smearing in that liner too. I did not get enough of that liner between my lashes because you can see a gap right there. I hate that. Ooh, that's a mess there. I might take some of the pink and drag that around. I'm going to leave that alone for now though and do the other side. Okay, I want to wrap some of the pink down because I feel like this edge is just not great. So I'm going to go in with a smaller fluffy brush and get, I hope this works out, very little amount on the brush, like barely anything. That looks like a ton on camera. Okay, well, tap it off and then just put it on the edges. And I'm hoping that didn't work. Okay, what am I doing? Maybe I need a smaller brush? I feel like I am massively screwing this up right now. Oh boy, okay. I don't like where that is ending up. Gonna go back in with my Brule single and try to clean this up. So I'm gonna go around those edges and blur that out. And hopefully that helps. What is going on there? This is frustrating. That is so funny. I'm having the worst time blending right there. Like, look at that line. I can't seem to get it to go together. This is so funny to me that I'm struggling to blend it right there, but I had no issues up here. Maybe it's my skin. Well, I'm not necessarily happy with my choice, but I think that's about as good as it's gonna get with that kind of blending there. I don't know what happened. Okay, mascara, eyelashes, and brows are done. I'm just gonna finish this off with lips, obviously. I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay, what are you called? Sheer Shimmer lipstick in the shade Ex-Girlfriend. I was perusing through my lipsticks trying to figure out what I was gonna wear to match sort of with this, and I was like, I completely forgot about this lipstick. I used to wear this all the time. But it's like a fairly, you know, My Lips But Better shade, and it's just got quite a lot of sheen to it. One of those like easy to wear shades, you know, when you don't know how to match something to your eyeshadows. Okay, so that is it. I have to say I was getting a little bit concerned with the pink on the lower lash line because at first it was just not blending out the way I wanted it to, but I do like how it's come together now. I think it's a weird combination of colors for me anyway, but it was nice to do something a little bit different. I am quite pleased with this palette. I have always really liked ColourPop's pressed eyeshadows, and again, I just think that Kristi did a great job with color selection in here. It's something different. Like, it feels earthy, but it also feels warm too, because I mean, this top row is quite warm and then this bottom row is quite cool, and it's nice to see both tones kind of in a palette. And again, I'm really happy with the fact that there's so many mattes in here because that's what I'm really drawn to in eyeshadows. So my initial review is quite good. I mean, I like the shadows. I did have that slight blending problem, but I don't know if that's the eyeshadow or my technique or sometimes even just my face skin. Sometimes I do run into blending issues on the lower lash line area, and I think it's just because the skin moves around so much. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you liked the look. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I will catch you next time. Bye.